For this demonstration, I'm going to be using a standard square piece of origami paper, 15 by 15 centimeters, which has a different color on each side. This way you can see where each side of the paper is viewable in the finished piece. When you begin, the side facing you will be the inside of your hamper. So first fold the piece of paper in half horizontally. When folding an origami pattern, try to be as precise as possible with the folds. Small mistakes can add up with each fold, so the more careful you are, the more polished the finished piece will look. The art of origami is quite meditative, so relax and take your time. Fold the paper in half again to create a crease in the center. Then unfold and take the bottom right hand corner and fold it to meet the center crease that you have created. Flip the paper to the other side and repeat. You should now have an upside down triangle shape. It should look a little something like this. And now use your fingers to open up the inside of the triangle and pinch the two edges together like so. So when you flatten the shape, you should be left with this diamond shape. With the open end towards your body like so, take one of the side corners and fold it in to meet the center line. Now repeat this on the other side, making sure the edges line up nicely. Next, flip the paper over and repeat these steps on the other side. The next step is called a squash fold. You open up this little flap here, you can put your finger in and then squash the paper into the position, following the creases that you have made. It should look something like this. Repeat this with the 3 other flaps. When you have finished these steps, your piece should look something like this. Next, open up the plain sides of the diamond like so. Take the tip of one of the sides and fold it in towards the center. Repeat this now on the other side. And then flip your paper over and repeat again on both sides. The next step is to take one layer from the narrowest tips and fold them down towards the center. Opening up the next side, fold the next layer down. This way you can make sure all the layers are folded down roughly the same amount. When all your points are folded down, you next need to make a crease along the bottom, just in the center here at the widest point. This will be the sides and the corner of your hamper. Now it's time to open your hamper. Place your fingers into the opening at the top of your paper and gently press the sides out to shape the hamper like so, pressing down each corner. And there you have your little origami hamper. So you can add a bit of finessing to these edge parts. If you'd like, you could take a pencil and roll the edges so that they have a nice curve to them. Or another method is to add a little pleated fold here to these flaps, like so. Once you've mastered this technique, you can look at using other types of paper. I'm using some paper that I've previously marbled, and you just need to make sure that you cut it into a square. It can be any size that you would like to work with. And if you like, you can add a little note for the inside of the hamper. General rule of thumb is make sure it doesn't take up more than 1/3. Just make sure that the message that you want to write is on the side of the paper that is facing you when you begin the first fold. That way it will be inside the box. Using this method, I can show you how I made this origami hamper tree. So you need 2 pieces of green A4 paper. You're going to cut out 1 square from one of the pieces of paper. Easiest way to do this is to fold a triangle from one of the corners up to the top, and then simply cut off the excess piece of paper. You should be left with a square that measures 21 centimeters by 21 centimeters. Take your second sheet of A4 green paper, and you're going to want to draw 2 squares with sides of 16 centimeters for one square and 12 centimeters for another square. Fold each square using the steps shown previously. When you reach this step, right before you open up your hamper, this is the best time to add your decorations for the tree. Remember that below the fold will be on the bottom, so you don't need to decorate in this area. But it is best to decorate on the flap and below the flap as well. I'm just going to add some kind of tinsel, some little decorations, keeping it fairly simple, and making sure that my lines meet at the edges. So I'm going to leave a little dot there so I can continue on around each side of the box. As I was showing you previously for the tree, I put an extra fold in the flaps so that they stick out a little bit and look a bit more like the edges of a tree. When you are finished, you should have 3 boxes that look something like this. For the smallest box, I angle 2 flaps on either side to face inwards towards each other for the very tip of the tree. When you are finished, you can put whatever you would like into these hampers. Maybe a different treat for each different section.